Good to see everyone. Hey, Tasha. Good to see everyone. Yeah, I got a fish sandwich my mom made for me. I also wanted to report on my 12-volt refrigerator. My 12-volt refrigerator is actually doing okay. It's a Chinese, cheap Chinese type of a 12-volt refrigerator. So it's actually doing pretty well. So good to see everyone. Laura Lee, what's your new way of making steak? How does that work? I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it turned out really well. Mm. Anyway, hey there, Super Cereal. Good to see you. It sounds really good, Laura Lee. Cut them into small pieces and cook it. Do you mix it with anything, or you just cook the steak by itself that way? A lot of people like steak fixed with some kind of potatoes. Those little red potatoes are good. I like them. Oh, that sounds good, Laura Lee. That sounds really good. I thought of that same thing. The steak's boiled. That boiled steak was a real winner. That really was something else. Wayne's okay, but I was going to tell you about Wayne. Hey, Northern Girl. Good to see you. Northern Girl Vlogs and more. Good to see you. Northern Girl, happy Saturday to you too. Okay, here's the Wayne situation. I've been hanging out with Wayne for a long time. Yeah, happy Sabbath. When we first started hanging out, him and me, he introduced me to his friends. I would go over to see his friends, and we would go to the club. We met a guy named Anthony, and we would go to Anthony's house together, hanging out. Then lately, Anthony and his friend went to see Wayne, and Wayne told me not to come over because Anthony and his friend are coming over. I felt like he ditched me when he had Anthony and his friend coming over and didn't invite me over, because usually, because I come over to Wayne's house every week to get beer. I come over to Wayne's house every week, and he don't have a car. He has to sneak beer into his own house because his family gives him a hard time. His family thanks, Larly. His family treats him like a little kid about his beer. He's a grown man, and his family brother and sister treat him like a little kid over his beer. So he has to have somebody that has a car. He has a lot. It's true, but he would always have me to go to the liquor store for him, to take him to the liquor store to get beer at a certain time that he could sneak it into his house, because he didn't want his family to drive by. He's afraid his brother or sister is going to come by and visit. And if his brother and sister comes by to visit, they'll give him a hard time over bringing beer in the house. And his mom was alive. He lived with his mom when she was alive. She would give him a hard time over drinking beer too. So his mom would give him a hard time. The brother and sister would give him a hard time because he's a grown man drinking beer. But he would have me, because I have a car, to drive him to the liquor store every week. He would have me to drive him to the liquor store every week to get beer, and we would have to bring it into the house only at a time when his brother and sister is not there to give him a hard time. He has to hide it. And it used to be that him and me did everything together. I didn't mind taking him to get beer because we did everything together. Now, lately, he's been on Facebook, and he hasn't always been on Facebook. Now he's on Facebook. He's meeting people online. And the guy, Anthony, that we hung out with, Anthony and his friend came over on a Saturday, and he told me not to come over. And I don't know the reason why he told me not to come over, but it was because Anthony and his friend were there. So Anthony and his friend comes, and he tells me not to come over. But it was me that would drive us over to Anthony's house to see Anthony before Anthony got a friend. Before Anthony got a friend, I would drive Wayne and me over to Anthony's house to see and visit Anthony. Now Anthony's driving with his friend to come over. He tells me not to come over. Of course, another time he told me I could come over when Anthony was there, but that was only one time. He hung out with Anthony and Anthony's friend multiple times without even inviting me to go. And then his nephew, Wayne's nephew, moved in with him because his mom died. Wayne's mom died, so his nephew moves in with him. His nephew offers to take him to Gay Pride. His nephew offered to drive him to Gay Pride, so Wayne got upset because his mom died last Saturday. So Wayne has his friend, his nephew. I meant Wayne's nephew. I didn't mean his own. Wayne's nephew moved in with him. Wayne has his nephew to take him to Lexington to the gay bar. He didn't go to Pride. He goes to that same bar that we used to hang out with, him and me used to go to. And so, and Anthony and his friend were at the bar. And since Anthony and his friend were at the bar, he hung out with Anthony and his friend at the bar instead of riding with me to the bar. He didn't invite me, you know. And last night, he called me. And now he wants me to come over today. Wayne wants me to come over today. And he's going to fix food for us to eat. But he wants beer. I'm going to have to drive him to the liquor store. Yeah, they are. They are getting dangerous, Laura Lee. I've been hearing that, Laura Lee. I've been hearing that stuff, you know. But how should I feel? He wants me to come over today, and he's just, oh, why don't you come over? You're backstabbing me. You won't come over to hang out this week. Why won't you come over to hang out this week? By the way, can I go by the liquor store and get some beer? Am I wrong to feel this way? Do you think he's using me or not? Or is that just his right? Is it his right as a friend to meet up with these people without inviting me? I mean, he used to invite me, and we used to go to the club together and Pride together. Well, we used to go to the club together. We used to go to Pride together and go to the club together. We would go. You think he did something wrong? Because he didn't invite me, and it's like he's meeting up with Anthony and Anthony's gay boyfriend. You know, he's meeting up with Anthony and Anthony's friend. I didn't say who Anthony was. I didn't say his last name. You know, no one's last name. You meeting up with Anthony and his friend without inviting me along. When we first met, he had friends that he would go see. His friends would come by to get him, to take him to parties and stuff. His friends would come by to get him, to take him to parties and to go to people's houses when people would come by to get him. And when I first started hanging out with him, he included me with all his friends. He wanted to see this old black lady named Vicky. We went to go see this black lady named Vicky that he was friends with. We would always go together to Vicky's and hang out at Vicky's. We went to Daniel's house. Daniel always had people over. He was gay. Daniel was gay, but he had a lot of people over, gay and straight people over, hanging out. And we would go to Daniel's house once, you know. We went to the barbecue place to see the girl that used to be a lesbian that used to take him to get beer. And she dumped him. She dropped him as a friend. And he had a crush on another guy that worked up at that barbecue place with the girl. And he would try to get me to go. Of course, those people laughed at me. And he knew that they laughed at me for being a man dressed as a woman in that barbecue place. Because that girl that used to be a lesbian told everybody in that barbecue place that I was a man dressed as a woman. And this was like 2008, you know. 2008 or something like that. But basically the point is, does he have a right to start doing things by himself? Is it okay? Does he have the right to do things by himself? Does Wayne have the right to do things by himself and stop asking me to go along? Because he had me to take him these places. He had me to take him to the bar because he didn't have any other way to get to the bar. about having me to drive him there. He needed to go see his friends. He didn't have nobody to take him to go see his friends. So he took me and invited me along to come along when I drove. And I always paid the gas. Whenever we went anywhere, I usually paid the gas. He was just really kind of stingy and wouldn't pay for any gas, for anything, any trip we took. It was just me paying for the gas. Well, do you think I'm overreacting? Because we're not in a relationship. We're just friends, We're just friends is all we are. Does he have the right to do that if he wants to change things? Does he have the right to change things or does he not? I don't, and he come up with, you see, my friend Amelie is in Lexington. My friend Amelie is in Lexington and she has Parkinson's disease. Like, well, yeah, that's true. But he said, if you drive yourself to the club and to Pride, if you drive yourself to the club, you can go see Amelie afterward. Because Amelie has Parkinson's. And she would like to have somebody to see on Pride, too. So he said, well, you can go see Amelie after you leave Pride. You go to the club for a little while and then go see Amelie. That's why you need to drive yourself to the club, because you can go see Amelie. He come up with the story like that. You see what I'm saying? He come up with a story for why he wanted me to drive him. No, he never tells me the whole story. That's the way it is, but he doesn't have to. It's his right to not tell me the whole story if he doesn't want to. I mean, if he wants to hang out with these people without me being along, why does he want me to come over, and then run into the liquor store when we come over? Sure, he wants to, he acts like going to the liquor store is a non-issue. It's just like a by the way thing. By the way, can we run by the liquor store? By the way, this is how things used to be. And he slacked off on having me to go play to see his friends with him. And other people too. He would need to run by the grocery store and get a couple of things. And sometimes when we hung out, I would run him by the grocery store and he'd get a couple of things. And then I'd run by the dry cleaners and we would drop something off at the dry cleaners. Then we would go back to the beer joint to get the beer. Then we'd go to his house. So that's what a Saturday of hanging out with Wayne would be. It would be a weekend of hanging out with Wayne would be, let's run by the Walmart. I need to run by Walmart and I need to get a couple of things if you don't mind at Walmart. So we would run by the Walmart. He'd run in the Walmart. He'd grab some deodorant and some bread at Walmart and run back out. Then we'd go over, not too far. None of this was very far away. Then we'd go over to we'd run over to the run by the dry cleaners and drop something off at the dry cleaners. And after we did that, we would go by the liquor store and he'd get beer. And then we would go back to his house. So sometimes he would have me to run him over to 2 or 3 places. Of course, he feeds me. And when he gets fast food, he buys me food too. He buys me fast food, a hamburger or something like that. It's just like, but even though he paid me for the trips that we took, it's cheaper than a cab. See what I'm saying? It's cheaper than a cab. It's more convenient than a bus. So I know he's doing me a favor by buying me food for it. But he's suiting himself. You see what I'm saying? He's suiting himself. He's doing what he wants to do, like Marshall. Elvis travels, Marshall. Wayne is like Marshall. Marshall's a good friend. He's a good friend, Marshall is. But he is an opportunist as well. They're both opportunists. They use the opportunities that they have to get what they need, to get what they can get from you. See what I'm saying? Even though Marshall is your friend, Marshall is a good friend, and Marshall may be a good buddy and a good friend. And I like him, and he's maybe a good friend, but let's face the facts. If he's going to meet up with somebody to work on his van, he's going to do that. He's going to meet up with somebody that's going to work on his van, to do something for that van. He had Coates to work on his van. He had me to work on his van. He had Rosie to work on his van. He's an opportunist, and that's the way Wayne is. If he's going to hang out with somebody, friends with many benefits. Yeah, Tasha. Sex is not one of them, but yeah, many benefits. They choose people to hang out with. Marshall chooses people to meet up with sometimes that have mechanical skill. People that know how to work on vans. People that can work with wood. Wayne has to find friends with cars. Wayne has to make friends with people with cars because they can drive him to the liquor store. They can run him by the Walmart to get a couple of things. You make friends that have things you need. You know what I'm saying? That's what people do. They're not going to meet you because they want to do something for you. They meet you for what you can do for them. That's what they meet you for. That's what they hang out with you for. So they what they get out of you. Just like my granddad. It was my step-granddad. My granddad, but my step-granddad. He was in the military for many years and had a career. And he was just very, very, my grandmother who recently died, her husband, very, very stingy with money. And he complained. He was a type person. He would complain. Granddad would. He would complain. People would come to his house on Sunday because my grandmother would fix food. My grandmother would fix lots of food on Sunday. She would fix food on Sunday when people would come over, families and stuff. Friends and family would come over on Saturday and Sunday and hang out on Sunday. And they would hang out. And he didn't want people just to come down to see them, to visit, just so they can get a free meal. He didn't want them to come to the house to hang out on Sundays to get a meal. You see what I'm saying? Because Granny cooked. And he didn't want people to come just so Granny could cook and they could get a free meal. I mean, if you're going to come down there, you come down there because you want to spend time and see the people. You want to be a part of the family, the get-together, That's why you want to get together with people, because you want to enjoy the get-together. You don't meet with people just so that you can go to someone's house and get a free meal. You don't do that. You don't do that stuff. You don't go to get a meal. You see what I'm saying? I don't go to someone's house to get a meal, a free meal. Because, people with benefits, people are hanging out with you for benefits. And I'm not saying they're bad people. I never trashed anybody. And I didn't say anything about Marshall Ellis Travels. I didn't say anything about him as a person. I just said, well, that can maybe meant people ran into one jerk already, testing me heavily. Ronnie Brown of having trouble finding merit in people too. I ran into one jerk already, testing me heavily. They have heard them all. Ronnie Braun, what does everybody think about what I've been saying? What does everybody think about what I've been saying? What I've been talking about? What does everybody think? Tell me your input. Tell me what you think, everyone. Tell me what you think. And also tell me what you think. Should I keep both of these truck campers and keep that big one? Or should I just let the big one go? I pay $600 for the big one. And I put a propane regulator in it for $40 for a propane regulator. The guy's going to give me $800 for it. Tell me what you think about people. I don't want to trash my friends and trash people. I'm not trashing Marshall Ellis Travels. I'm not trashing him. I'm just saying what I think. If people are going to be friends, they got to be honest, Friends have got to be honest with each other. And maybe people think that I've done something wrong too, you know. Maybe they think I did something wrong to them, and I'm sorry I did something wrong. I did. I don't want to do anybody wrong, you see. I don't want to do anyone wrong or nothing like that. I don't want to do anybody bad, you know. Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to do anyone wrong. If someone thinks I did them wrong, it's like, no, I don't want to do you wrong. I don't want to do anyone wrong. You know, I don't want to do anyone wrong. But if I think someone else is the kind of person that does people wrong, if I think someone else is the kind of person who, does people bad, or maybe is a little self-centered that wants to get what they can get from other people, they choose their friends because they're people that can do things for them. They want to hang out with people that can do things for them. You see what I'm saying? That's what they want. They want to hang out with someone who can do things for them. I want you to hang out with me so you can do something good for me that I need. And that's just the way I feel. People do that sometimes. Yeah, I think so. How bad do you think Wayne did me, Tasha? What do you think? 14 plus cats, man. That's a lot of cats, isn't it, to feed, Bring it back with, yeah, okay, LOL. What the hell, yeah. Feeding 14 cats. Yeah, neighbor to loan him sig money and give him debit card. I'll bring it back. Not very nice of him. Yeah, I think so. It was not very nice of him. I think maybe it's not very nice of Wayne because, I mean, when we started being friends and hanging out together, me and Wayne and me started hanging out together. We had an openness. We started hanging out together. Yeah. I was referred to as the food supply. I mean, yeah, the human condition, the food supply. It's just a all sorts of narcissist abuse and torture going around. I think so too. Oh man, I need to lose weight. I'm going to try to get in shape and lose some. Yeah, okay, I'm going to play this song When the Children Cry by White Lion. Okay, it says When the Children Cry by White Lion. Little little time, dry your eyes. Little time, dry your crying eyes. How can I explain the things you inside? Yeah. Okay, so we don't have to talk anymore then. You see, you're calling to fuss and cause trouble. Well, you can't expect me to owe you nothing either. Well, it's fine. You and me don't have to be close. Well, live your own life then. I don't owe you nothing. You don't owe me nothing. Well, I hear you, and I'm going to plan on leaving. You don't want to live with me no way. You already told me you don't want us to live together. Go fuck yourself. Okay. No. Little child, dry your tired eyes. How can I explain the fear you feel inside? 'Cause you were born to deceive the world. The man is killing man and no one knows who's won. What if we become? Look what we have done. All the weeds thrown, we must again. When the children cry, let them know we cry. 'Cause when the children sing, they'll begin. Little child, you must show the way to a better day for all the young. 'Cause you were born for the world to see. And all we will live with love and peace. Then we all can live with love and peace. No more president, no more wars will win. One united world under God. When the children cry, let them know we care. 'Cause when the children sing, we'll never begin. What have we become? Just look what we have done. All that we destroyed, we must build again. No more president, all the wars will win. One united world under God. When the children cry, let them know we cry. 'Cause when the children cry, they know we won't. Whoa, when the children pray, let them know the way. 'Cause when the children sing, Tony, was your dad easier on you? I think my dad was easier on me. I think my dad was easier on me. My dad was a jokative person. My dad was a jokative person. I'll put some pictures of my dad up and some. I got a video of my dad, some videos of him. So I'll try to get these videos, DVDs I made, transferred to YouTube and get some of these videos my dad put up online, and pictures maybe of my dad. So he was a jokative person, and he could be temperamental and get mad, but at the same time, even though he could get mad, he was still a jokative person. He wasn't serious like my mom, because my mom would get mad when my dad would make jokes out of stuff. My dad would take stuff and make a joke out of it. My dad would take stuff and make a joke out of it. You know. And mom would get mad because sometimes he would make a joke out of stuff. And she's a serious person. My mom is just a very serious person. My mother is just a very serious person. Melancholy, serious personality. She's not a joker at all. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I think some humor is necessary. And my dad's mom was a jokative person too. You know, she was a fun-loving person. But my mom is just a serious person. Well, hair blowing in the wind, walking down the street, oh yeah. Crazy clothes you wear now, walking in the summer heat, oh yeah, yeah. Your own kind of girl, don't you even ask me why. Everybody loves you now. Hold your head up high, so high, so high. Wear your best dress, girlfriend. Every morning's a new day. Find your dream and follow it. Do it your own way. Hey, 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 hey. Your own kind of girl. Don't you even ask me why. Everybody loves you now. Hold your head up high, so high, so high. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Your own kind of girl. Yay. Janice, hey, how you doing? Shopping in for a minute. Good to see you. Oh, no, I'm not. I don't have the air conditioner on right now, Ronnie. The air conditioner works, but it's not turned on right now at the moment because it's not that hot right now. In the camper, it's 74 degrees right now. It's not too bad. All right, here we go. That was called Your Own Kind of Girl. And the song I come up with. And here's the next one I come up with. I've had it out came up with it a while back. Stephanie, it's called Wiccanisco. I'm going to come up with a cassette tape and produce my own homemade cassette tapes. Produce my own albums on cassette tape. So this is going to be on. I think the first album is going to be called Wiccanisco. The title track for the upcoming cassette release, Wiccanisco. Title track from the album cassette, Wiccanisco. Here we go. Here we go. Wicked-Nisco. Whoa. Life's not that easy for a transgender girl. When you lost everything, looking for a home, you make a stand wherever you go. Wicked-Nisco, Pennsylvania, walking down the road to nowhere land. Stephanie Rich, to take my hand, walking to nowhere land. Thought they despised you, didn't think they cared, but you were surprised when they let Wicked-Nisco, Pennsylvania, down the road to nowhere. Stephanie French, don't you take my hand, walk with me to nowhere. What makes a hero? What do we need? Someone who's her all for what she believes. A big girl standing tall, you will never need. Wicked-Nisco, Pennsylvania, walking down the road to nowhere land. Stephanie French, won't you take my hand, walk with me to nowhere land. It was a title track from the upcoming cassette release, Wicked-Nisco. I will take the album Wicked-Nisco, the upcoming cassette release, and I will put that in the merch, the channel merchandise from the channel. I will come up with some merchandise for the channel. The cassette will be available in the future by the beginning maybe of 2014, hopefully by the beginning of 2024. The cassette will be available. Self-produced cassette tape. Self-produced. Nothing fancy, nothing really good or fancy. You know, same stuff that we have on the channel, the songs that I wrote, that I come up with. Those are the songs I'll put. I'll put the R.V. Davies song on there. If you want the R.V. Davies song, it'll be on there. It'll be a cassette tape. You know, if I can go on Bandcamp maybe and try to do some kind of maybe digital download you can buy too as well. So, you know, you can have it on your cassette, or they have some new cassette players you can buy, new cassette players you can get. They're becoming available on Amazon and some of those things. Some of these Chinese made cassette players are actually pretty good. So you can get some of these cassette players to play cassettes again. They're becoming popular again. So my new upcoming release, Wicked-Nisco, look for it. Come with my own little cassette-based record label called Dolphin Records. You know, for my own little cassette recordings of my own. So I can come up with these maybe at the beginning of sometime in 2024, that I can be able to release those and make those available to you on the channel, the merchandise from the channel, the cassette tape. Maybe I'll get some t-shirts and stuff, hats, something like that. Wicked-Nisco. I start singing and playing songs and everybody goes away. So tell me what you all think. Should I get the wood burning stove, which is a Cubic Mini Cubic Mini wood burning stove for campers and vans. Cubic Mini wood burning stove, or should I buy a diesel heater? Should I get the diesel here? Okay, Janice, good to hear from you. That's my portable refrigerator kicking in. Do you think I should get the diesel heater? Do you think I should buy the diesel heater? Do you think I should buy the diesel heater? Stephanie Fritsch. Should I buy the diesel heater or the wood burning stove? Now, without much furniture in the floor, I have plenty of space and to walk around. I don't have a lot of space to walk around, but I have enough space. Yeah, bye, Janice. Bye, Janice. Layla. Goodbye, Janice. Good to hear from you and see you in the channel. Good to see you. Thank you for coming, Janice. We appreciate you in here. And okay, now in the future, I would like to get a four-wheel drive truck. I'd like to get a four-wheel drive truck to put this camper on. Now I'm thinking I like the body style actually of the late 90s. I like the body style of the early 2000s. I like the body style of the truck that's like a 2000 model, Short bed, extended cab, black or gray, dark gray. White's okay. Black or dark gray, you can easily repaint it. A lot of trucks that are black. I see a lot of black trucks. I've got some black trucks. There's a lot of black trucks. I like it to be set apart. My vehicles to be unique and set apart. But at the same time, I like them to be unique and set apart. But at the same time, I don't like them to be too crazy. I don't like my vehicles to be too crazy. Because if they're too crazy, it's just too much attention grabbing, It's too much attention grabbing for a vehicle to be too much. So I don't know if anybody hears me. Davy was a man, he died the master plan. Wanted to meet Tasha to just say hey. He insulted her, so she said no way. Well, he saw her coming into the campground, coming at him full speed, miles around. Well, he opened the door So Tasha standing there. Coming at him with the fist, no time to spare. And she beat the shit out of him. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Go to the Davy Ranch. Talk about fun. Davy Ranch. I like the Cubic Mini, but the diesel heater probably would be cheaper. If you're boondocking and someone's in smoke coming out of the top, they might be more apt to be a jerk. Yeah, I guess it might be apt to be a jerk. You know, you can get one of those diesel heaters for $100. You can get one of those diesel heaters for $100. Yeah, I love that rusticness of Ronnie, you know, of the wood burning stove. I would put it right up here in between my sink and my stove, you know. But, you know, people are more likely to be a jerk, you know. The diesel heaters are pretty good. People like those. People like those diesel heaters pretty well, you know. So, yeah, people like those diesel heaters really well. If I'm going to get a portable washing machine, I'm thinking of making a place to put the bicycle. A place to put the bike on the camper. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Talk about fun. Beat the shit out of you. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Go to the Davy Ranch. Let's go to the Davy Ranch. Go to the Davy Ranch. We're going to the Davy Ranch. Good old RV Davy. I hope Davy's messaged me a little bit. He shared stuff with me on Facebook. You know, I'm friends with him on Facebook. And so I shared things with him. He shared things with me about rock bands and stuff like that. You know, and even though a big truck camper would have more space inside of it, you know. Ronnie, what do you think? Right, what do you think about the truck camper? Should I keep the big new truck camper? Yeah. Ronnie, what do you think I should do? Ronnie, what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Should I keep this new truck camper or should I keep this one, the Coachman? Because I commented, Ronnie, on Rosie's channel. Ronnie, I commented on Rosie's live stream. Rosie thinks I should keep the big truck camper. Rosie thinks I should keep the big truck camper. Because you have, like she said, to pursue your passions. Pursue your passions in the big truck camper. You got room for stuff inside of the big truck camper. You've got room for your washing machine, for everything, really. Yeah, I'll go in there right now. No, I'll go on another live stream if this doesn't work. This is my 8.5-foot truck camper. No, I think I've got this thing sold now. Now you can see this. You see how this sticks out the back of the truck, Ronnie? Look at that. It sticks out the back of the truck 3 feet. It sticks out the back of the truck almost 3 feet. What I was thinking of doing is thinking this compartment right here and putting the generator inside the camper. I'd like to maybe cut the bottom out of that and extend the bottom down a little bit lower so I can have my generator in the camper. Because I hate to have the generator sticking out the back. I guess I could put the generator on the back of here. But, you know,